Hey you guys, my name is Tony Moles and welcome to Recreated 2.0. I guess you noticed I'm not in my kitchen today cooking, huh? That's right. I'm doing this new thing called Kicking It in the Kitchen with Tony. That means you can have me cooking in your kitchen as long as it's clean. And we can go over some of the best and the most tastiest recipes, and I'll be cooking it in your house with you. I'll bring the groceries, you supply the space. So today I'm going to be cooking a very, very good vegan meal. I'm going vegan again, you know, for a couple of days, give it a shot. I'm going to be making a Caribbean sweet potato patty with a spicy coconut and spinach sauce. And we're going to top it off with some mashed plantains. I know, right? It's called mango in Puerto Rico. But let's go ahead and get started. I've already gotten some of my stuff done because in the interest of time, I don't want to bore you. I have a couple of pieces of sweet potato. I have a couple of cloves of garlic, and I also have some spring onions, some green onions. I'm going to take this and pop it in the oven at 350 and let it get roasted until it's nice and soft. Now that we have our vegetables roasting, I'm going to go ahead and get some coconut milk and some water boiling in a good old pot. I'm going to pour in a can of coconut milk and get that to a nice, beautiful boil. And also in that same pot, I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt. And I'm going to also add in some pepper. Lastly, I'm going to take a real whole fleshly pepper like this. I'm going to rinse it off and drop the whole thing in there and let that come to a boil. Okay, pop a lid on it, and that's it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and boil our plantain. Ooh, look at this. Okay. So with our plantain, there are two different types of plantain that you get in the grocery store. You can get the ones that are very, very green. Those are not quite ripe yet. Or you can get the ones that are already ripe, as in this one. Now you will know your plantain is more ripe because it will turn like more blackish and the texture of it is extremely soft. Give it a couple of cuts, just like this. We're going to cut them nice and diagonal, which is perfect. So like I've already go ahead and peeled and cut up our plantain. I'm going to go ahead and add this to a pot of water and get it nice and boiling. I'll bring y'all over in just a sec. Plantains look like bananas, they smell like bananas, but they have a totally different taste and texture, so do not be alarmed, okay? You can when you go in the grocery store, you can definitely tell the difference between a plantain and a banana. So I'm going to let that come to a boil for about 8 to 10 minutes, okay? Get it nice and soft, because those are going to be our smashed plantain. All right, so we're going to work on our spices for our sweet potato patties, right? Because this is going to go in the food processor. I'm going to take a little bit of ground allspice. I don't take a measurement. I just pour it in there because I want a nice Caribbean feel. Allspice is used in a lot of Caribbean dishes to enhance that flavor. Next thing I'm going to add is some black peppercorn. The reason why I'm putting this all in the same container is so I can just pour it in there and we'll be good to go. Not too much pepper though. This is going to be a little spicy. We're going to take some crushed red pepper, add that in there. I'll leave that. Add a couple of flakes in there. Give it a nice little spice touch. I love the heat. I love the heat of the kitchen. Also, we're going to add in some ground cumin. Another layer of flavor. What I'm telling you is just going to be, I don't need that. Another layer of flavor that is absolutely wonderful to add into your Caribbean dishes. You do find cumin in most islander dishes. Also, some salt for a touch. I'm using kosher salt. I like kosher salt better than iodized salt because what it is, the flavor is a lot more enhanced. I'm going to now use some dried thyme. This recipe requires dry thyme and fresh thyme. Dry thyme is going to be in our dish. The fresh thyme is going to be more like a garnish. Some dry thyme, get that in there. Real good. What else am I missing? Oh, last but not least, we're going to add in some ground coriander. You can do the fresh coriander leaves, is what I would prefer, but I couldn't find it in the grocery store at short notice. Add some of that in there as well. Okay, perfect. We're going to take this, just set it to the side. Now that our coconut milk and our peppers has come to a nice boil, I'm going to add in some spinach. Now this dish does traditionally require callaloo or canned callaloo. I couldn't find any in the grocery stores, y'all. But I found spinach, and that is going to work even better. All right, because that is more cheaper, it's more accessible, you can find it almost anywhere. We're gonna take a good bit of spinach because we both know that spinach cooks down like nothing. So we're gonna take our spinach, add it into the coconut milk and the pepper, and let it get to a nice wilk. Once it becomes real good and cooked down, then we're gonna transfer that into our blender and get it nice and smooth to make our spicy coconut spinach sauce. All right, so I'm gonna let that go ahead and get wilted down. Now our vegetables are finished roasting. Perfect, right? Potatoes, nice and soft. Our onions, nice and soft. Garlic, nice and roasted. That's a good flavor like I like. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna slice open our sweet potato. And we're gonna put the whole thing inside of a food processor. You don't have to do it while it's hot. You can wait till it cool down, but it's just easier once it's hot. So you're gonna take our cloves of garlic, nice and roasted, pop those in the food processor as well. We're gonna take our onion. I like the texture of the onions, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep those in whole. Gonna be nice and crispy. Pop a lid on it really quick. Now that we got a good little blending going on, we're gonna go ahead and add our spices in here, our seasoning. Ooh, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And we're gonna take the juice of half a lime juice. Squeeze that right in there. And take our processed sweet potatoes and our herbs and spices. Move our blade. And we're gonna take it and we're gonna now pour our mixture into a bowl. It doesn't have to be the perfectly smooth texture. I prefer it not to be. That way I can get some texture with my bite. I like all the texture bites. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of flour. The flour is gonna be used as a binding to make sure that we have a nice little solid pattern, okay? Now that we got this nice and mixed in our little bowl here, it's gonna look like batter, like really good batter. So scoop of it, and we're gonna drop it in as if it was a pancake. It may have some texture to it, and that is perfectly fine. I'm gonna take a couple of them, do it just like this, like that. Add some canola oil to it, make sure it doesn't stick. If you don't have a cast iron pan, it's fine. You can use a frying pan. You're gonna cook it on both sides for about 2 to 3 minutes till it gets nice and brown. And then once it's nice and brown, it should look like this. And flavorful. My name is Tony Marbles, and thank you for watching Recreated 2.0. And thank you so much, and I love you for watching. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and boil our plantains. Ooh, look at this.
Alexa, play Captain.
Okay, we are not gonna do. No, stop. Now there are two different types. Okay, I can't hold it. There are two different types.
You want me to demonstrate?
No, I don't need it.